Yo, what's good YouTube? Today we're going to be doing a video over the Memphis Grizzlies and more specifically about their new up and coming duo of Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. So make sure you go ahead and leave a like on this video if you enjoy it at the very end. Also subscribe if you haven't already, and without further ado, let's get straight into the video. The Memphis Grizzlies, that were once known for being that iconic grit and grind team of the NBA, no longer exist because they completely changed their culture around, which is for the better. The NBA is clearly moving towards that fast tempo, small ball, pace and space type of league, so the grit and grind wasn't going to last much longer anyways. And with that being said, taking a little bit of a different turn here, I feel like everyone's on that Zion wave right now. And trust me, I understand. He's been amazing and will be amazing for years to come. But just hear me out though. Can we just, briefly talk about the Memphis Grizzlies? I mean, this is the same team that ESPN predicted in late August to literally be the worst seed in the West. And fast forward to now, they're currently on track to finish as the 8th seed in the West and contend in the postseason. So how exactly did the Grizzlies get here? Well, it's all centered around Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. This duo has all the opportunity in the world to reach their potential in Memphis. I mean, 20-year-old Ja Morant is the NBA's Rookie of the Year, assuming that the regular season is truly over due to you-know-what, and Jaren Jackson Jr. is a unicorn-type player. So, by the way, not many people know this, he's actually surprisingly younger than Ja. So I mean, this is the perfect modernization of the little and big combo in today's NBA. Let me go ahead and get into why that is. We knew that Ja was a great passer based on his sophomore season at Murray State, where he averaged 10 assists per game, but we didn't really know how that was going to translate into the league, especially on the Memphis Grizzlies, who literally ran the slowest pace in the NBA last season. Thankfully though, our prayers were answered because the Memphis Grizzlies transitioned to a much faster pace this season. In fact, they're currently running the 7th fastest pace in the league right now, which was obviously tremendous to Ja's game as he's gone on to dominate this season. And before I carry on, let me go ahead and just give some big ups to the Grizzlies, because it takes a lot as a franchise to go ahead and just turn things around as drastically as they have. Back to Ja's passing though. As a rookie, he's currently averaging 7 assists per game, which is already enough to make the list of the top 15 players leading in assists per game in the NBA. Oh, and he's also got the #1 total assists among rookies by almost twice as much as the second leading guy. So it's pretty clear that his playmaking transitioned to the NBA from his time in college at Murray State. But the main question about him wasn't really about his passing ability, it was more so whether or not his scoring would translate to the league. And prior to the start of the season, we saw a lot of analysts kind of doubt his scoring ability, saying that it wasn't going to translate because he was playing easier comp in college as he wasn't part of a big program like Duke or Kentucky. But nonetheless, they couldn't have been more wrong, as Ja's been putting up nearly 18 points per game while being super efficient as well. His splits are sitting at 49% from the field, 37% from 3 with 2.5 attempts per game behind the arc, and 77% from the free throw line as well. That's an overall 52% effective field goal percentage, which is great by a player alone, but even more impressive for a rookie point guard. So his decision making, along with his scoring ability, which is almost necessary for a modern day point guard, have both held up in the next level. Let's move on to Jaren Jackson Jr. though. So he's a jack of all trades big man, which is perfect for today's NBA. And going back to his days at Michigan State, he shot at 40% from 3 as well as blocked 3 shots a game as a freshman. And that's carried over to the league perfectly because he's shooting at 40% behind the arc still, except now he's shooting 6 attempts per game, which is actually the second most in the league, just behind Karl Anthony Towns for centers. And he's also top 10 in blocks per game with 1.6 a game, and that's enough by itself to solidify the fact that his game is a perfect fit for the Grizzlies. Unfortunately though, Jaren Jackson Jr. gets in a lot of foul trouble. In fact, he's actually currently averaging the most personal fouls per game in the league, which is even more than Mitchell Robinson, who I recently did a video about. Go ahead and check that out if you haven't already, by the way. The point is that Jaren can't stay on the floor for very long because he's constantly fouling, which is one of the reasons as to why he's only averaging around 28 minutes a game this season. And another flaw in Jaren's game is that he doesn't get that many boards either. I mean, he's only averaging 4.7 rebounds a game as a center, which is super worrying. Thankfully, this happens to be an area that Ja is actually really good at, as he's the #1 rookie point guard at rebounding. But with that being said, I mean, we still need Jaren to do something about this. He needs to control his excessive fouling and improve on his rebounding instincts as well. And hopefully he can do that at some point in his career, but hopefully sooner than later if he wants to maximize his skill sets. What was once Mike Conley's and Marc Gasol's grit and grind has now become Ja Morant's and Jaren Jackson Jr.'s pace and space Memphis Grizzlies. Except this duo is much younger and has a much brighter future. And that's no shots at Mike Conley or Marc Gasol. It just shows you that the Memphis Grizzlies are in great hands, along with just how great Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. can truly be in the near future. Ayo, congrats! You made it to the end of the video. So let me know what y'all thought about this in the comments down below, and don't forget to leave a like as well as subscribe and turn on those post notifications as well. So yeah, I mean, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace and love to everybody.